Hello learners, in this lecture we are going to see how to model floors in Revit. Okay, so let's get started. So you can find the floor again in the build panel under the architectural tab. So you can just select this drop down and you can find there is floor architectural, floor structural, floor slab and floor face. So we are just dealing with architectural parts. So for now we'll just select the architectural type of floor. Okay, on selecting this floor, you can see here in the properties panel or properties palette, you can select the type of floor to be used. So we'll go ahead using this default floor. Okay, and you can set the level like the constraint as we have seen in the wall, door and window as well. So we are just dealing with the level 0 floor plan. So we will assign the floor that is associate the floor to the level 0 for now. Okay, so then we have offset from level and room bounding, etc., as seen similar in the wall as well. So for now, we'll just keep it as it is and we'll just check as we proceed ahead. And here we have offset. So for now, we'll just keep it as 0 and we'll check this as we move ahead. Okay. So in order to draw the floor, we have few options as those were visible in the wall modeling as well. Like you have the line, so you can like proceed with using the line. If you don't want line, as we have a reference of these walls that are already present, so you can use the pick line. You can use the pick line to model the floor. So we want a rectangular floor here, so we have just completed the region or the pink lines that are visible here. So if by mistake there is an incomplete loop, as you can see here, and if you try to finish the floor modeling, Revit gives you an error like lines must be in a closed loop. And you can see here these particular 2 points are highlighted as they are not interconnected or joined with each other. So hit continue and make sure you trim both the unconnected edges and hit finish so that our floor is modeled. You can check this floor in 3D as well. Now our floor looks something like this. So to better understand it, let's take a section that is passing from the middle, and I'll just set the far clipping like almost a 200 mm. Okay, and right click, go to view in order to check the floor plan. For now, I don't need this level 1. So what I do, I just hide it from the view, hide by element. So my level 1 is hidden. So I just drag this outside so I can get a better look of my floor. So I just keep it fine. So this is the floor which you have modeled, and you can check the constraint as well. For now, it's level 0 and height offset from level is set to 0. If you change this value, say 50, then my floor is lifted up by 50 mm with respect to the level 0. Okay, now this you can see this. And if I add a negative value like minus 50, so it's pushed down with respect to the level. I'll just change the scale a bit in order to have a better look. See, it's now shifted below level 0 by 50 mm. So likewise, you can have a change in offset as per your requirement. For now, I'm just keeping it as 0 and constraint to set to level 0. Okay. And room bounding, we'll have a discussion when we are dealing with the room concept. So like you have seen in the walls as well, you have every dimensional data that is associated with the particular floor. Like you have the perimeter of the floor, you have the area, you have volume, likewise, and the thickness as well. So you get all the dimensional data from Revit here. And if you dig down a bit into the edit type, you get this kind of interface, which was similar to that of wall. And here you can see this section, how actually the floor is looking. If you take a look here, our floor actually looks similar to what's shown in the preview. Okay, there is a finish above the core of the floor. If you go to hit edit type again, you can see here there is a layer above the core. So if you just go on edit structure, you can see there is 22 mm of thickness above the structural floor member, and you can assign uniform, non-uniform thickness, or as per your value, means as per your preference, you can change this value to anything, and even you can change the material type or add any layer as per your requirement. So it's similar that that we have seen in the walls concept. So if you want to add any layer, just insert and make sure you move it up or down based on your requirement. So I need another layer above finish 2, and make sure you set the function of this layer. And I want a laminate ivory mat just for example, and I will set this thickness as 5 mm. Okay, so in all we have a total thickness of 252 mm. As you can see here, previously before adding this layer it was 247, and now it has changed to 252 on addition of the upper layer. And the similar changes are also visible in the preview section as well. You can see a 5 mm layer of laminate ivory mat has been added in our floor. Hit OK, apply to make the changes applicable, and hit OK. Now you can see another new layer has been added in our current floor. Okay, now go back to edit type, and you can see many other stuffs that are present here. You can add any URL link as per your requirement. You can give the type mark, cost, assembly code. You can type anything here. Okay, you can add the cost, you can add the type comments, you can add the model keynotes likewise. So this is all about the edit type properties, or the type properties rather, of a floor. So on finishing this, let's move ahead and explore few more stuff that are related with the floor. Okay, so for now I will have just delete this floor and go back to level 0 and use the floor command again, floor architecture. And now I want the floor to be offsetted by 100 mm with respect to the wall exterior face. Okay, so before proceeding ahead, I will just add 100 mm here as an offset, and then I add pick line. I'll use the pick line. Just a minute. Pick line 100 mm. You can see when you use pick line and add an offset of 100 mm, the dotted blue line highlights the exact location of our floor that is to be modeled. Even though we are selecting the wall face, but it's offsetted by 100 mm apart from the wall, as we have entered an offset of 100 mm. Now click OK to start placing the outline for our floor. Okay, as we are done with the outline, click finish, and you can check there is a offset of 100 mm apart from our exterior wall face. So, and even like there is another few more stuffs like giving the slope to a particular floor, or giving means non-uniform floor. So it's better, like if you just want to turn off this crop region and its visibility, the you can have this in the properties of floor plan. Just you need to uncheck this and see the crop view and crop view visible is gone. And if I go and select the floor again, you can have floor of any shape. For now it's circular, or if you want it in any other shape, you can have it. Select OK, and you can see in 3D as well, you can have floor of any particular shape you want. So I go to floor again, architectural. So before, like for now, I just take an example of plain rectangular floor. And here you can see when you select the boundary line, you are able to use these tools. Okay. And when you want to define a slope, particular slope to your floor, you need to select the slope arrow. And it will ask, like you can see at the bottom as well, click the enter line, click to enter line start point. So you need to define the start and define a end for it. You can see an arrow has been created. This represents the slope. Okay, slope can be given in two forms. This is the first form. Okay, so if you select this arrow, the property, you can see a few things in the properties that are means associated with this slope arrow. Okay, you can see a specific head at tail or slope. There are two methods, like you can define the slope using head at tail, sorry, height at tail, and another is by using the slope. So we'll just check both of these, and level at tail default level 0. As we are dealing with level 0, we'll just keep it as level 0. Height offset at tail, so keep it as 0, and height offset at head, we will lift it up by 500 mm and hit OK to finish it. And if you check what we have done now, right click user section, see we have just lifted the floor at its head by 500 mm with respect to its tail. For example, like if you go again in the properties of this floor, edit boundary, and select the slope again, the sloping line again, and you can see we have given an offset of 500 mm at the head. So the end of the arrow represents the head, this part, and this is the tail. Okay. So you need to specify level at the tail, like this point where it should be, and you also need to specify the level at the head. Once you are done with it, then you can set any offset for level separately and tail separately. Sorry, head separately and tail separately. So you can see these changes. If I give a negative 500 value here and hit enter, then you can see the head is now dipped 500 mm below the tail level. Okay. And you can also assign the slope using the specific slope. Okay. When you select this, then you have slope enabled here and you can enter any value. For now it's 18 mm. If I add or replace it by 15 degrees, so you can see my floor is now sloped at an angle of 15 degrees. So if you reselect the floor again, you can see the slope is now available in the instance parameter value. So you can change it here as well. If I want it to be at 5 degrees, press 5 here and apply. And you can see the floor is now sloped at an angle of 5 degree. If you want it at 10, hit enter value of 10, hit apply and see the changes. So by this way, you can assign a slope to your floor element. Okay. Now we'll set it to 0. And if you want sloping to be non-uniform, there is another method. Like when you select a floor element, you can see there under the modify tab, you can see modify sub elements and few of the shape editing tools that are available at our disposal. So when you select a floor and just select the modify sub elements, you can see the skeleton of the or the boundary of the floor is now changed. You can check this in 3D as well. Okay. So if you want to change any value at the edges or throughout these lines or the corners, you can use modify sub elements. Okay. So if you check, if you just drag a rectangle over the corner, you can see currently we have not given any slope. So all the ends, means all the corners are at 0 elevation. You can see here. Now, if you want to lift this particular corner up or down by a certain amount, you can do it. All you need is select the floor, click on modify elements. You can see such kind of interface. Now, just make a drag box around that particular corner and you will be able to select that corner part, and just you need to enter a value. Now we can see previously the floor was flat. Now one edge of the floor is lifted with respect to other. If you want to check another corner, you can just drag, select it, and 250, enter any random value. Now you can see it's at 500 mm, it's at 250, and these both corners are at 0 elevation. If you want these to be lifted, you can do that as well. So when there is a non-uniform slope, you can use modify sub element and other shape editing tools. So apart from these corner points, if you want to add any other corner points, you can do that as well. So for now, we have just the 4 corner points and there are no intermediate points available. So here you can, means in under the shape editing, you can have add points, add split line. Okay. So just go to add point and you can add any point as required, but make sure the points are placed on the green dotted line only for a proper achieving, means in order to achieve a proper slope, because giving a random point in middle makes the floor shabby and it's not aesthetically pleasing for appearance. Okay. So better to have the points parallel to each other. Okay. And you can also add the split line between any lines. Okay. Now our flow looks something like this. So you can even edit this point as well. Just drag selection over here, and if you want to change its elevation, you can change it. So likewise, you can make adjustment to your floor as required in terms of, means in condition where you have to assign a non-uniform slope to your floor element. Okay, so that's it for now. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.